Oh, you know what the race is? It's the son of the father was to do it. Was it? Probably. How do you use it? What? It's under current meetings for those updated ones. Reopen the agenda. Me double check that. You don't. All right. All this meeting of the South Dakota School Minds Association Senate order. Roll call and approval proxy.
Archer,
Here.
Pants,
Here.
Proxy Sandquist,
Here.
Else, here, Espinay,
Here.
Hernandez,
Here.
Hewitt,
Here.
Jurgens, here, Kessinger,
Here.
Leonard,
Here.
Lewis,
Here.
McCollum, here, Paulson,
Here.
Russ,
Here.
Van Miller, and Witt.
Here. All those in favor of approving the proxy, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Passes, proxy approved. You guys get sort of some changes to the agenda. You'll find it in the current meetings folder. There was a resolution added. All those in favor of the current agenda, or is there any issues with the agenda at all? Okay. See none. And it's approved. Moving on to minutes from last week. Did y'all get a chance to read them? Any issues? Okay. See no issues. Passes unanimous consent. Moving on to unfinished business to the flagpole field. Did anyone come up with any other ideas than the ones we had this last week? For it? We had Garter. I'm honestly just going to pass around paper today. And we'll just do one vote per person, just put a little time mark by it. We're not going to go through passing for it. So we got a Garter. What else is going on here? Or CNET. Okay. What were the other top ones? Let's strike that from the minutes. So don't let that one get approved. Any other ones?
Can I make one suggestion, since you are the student senate, do the like the top of the gavel.
Okay,
How big is like the?
it's like a ball like this size.
Yeah,
So-
it's bigger than you would think. I mean, obviously, we're looking at this.
Decently sized. Any ideas? Well, I'm just gonna pass this around and, whatever's pop out of here, we'll go with it. So. Moving on to new business. Resolution 22F001, SPX supplement.
Marshall's Lake Resolution Number 22F001, presented on 7 September 2022, originated by the Finance Committee, presented by myself. Whereas the Society of Physics Students has approached the Finance Committee with a supplemental request to provide funding for a couple conferences, and whereas the appropriate paperwork has been filed with the Finance Committee, and whereas the Finance Committee has deemed $5,000 as an appropriate amount to allocate to the organization, and noting there's been 2 official years since SPS previously requested supplemental funding, so are eligible for full $5,000 of supplemental funding. Therefore, be it resolved by a majority vote of the Student Association Senate and the signature of the Student Association President that $5,000 be allocated from the so reverted fund account S4SA003 to SPS.
Any discussion? Seeing,
Is there like a conference before, was the economic research? So just for fun.
It's not, well, first of all, the initial conference that they put in the supplemental for was something they put in their sub application for. The main issue is they're adding, I believe, 3 more people to send to that conference. So then they're also requesting some additional funding to go to an event called BizCon, which does not stand for physics. But yeah, it stands for, I believe, physics convention. Yeah, it's understood. Yeah. And then they're also with the BizCon, they're still deciding between 2 locations because we're trying to develop 2 buildings.
to clarify this conference, physics conference. I looked it up. Any other discussion? See none, we'll see that next week. Moving on to open discussion. Number 9 today.
Are you guys going to be doing the like weekly problems with the voting?
Refer that over to you. Okay, so was it essay or PR? Was it PR? That will bring back the, I guess we'll bring back fixed the problem, so kind of how about that? Y'all good for that? You guys need any resources for that?
Yeah.
We have that here. If we get sign up sheets, just get more information on that. Is any other discussion on the fixing problem? Okay, any other if not for open discussion?
So I've stopped hearing complaints about county services, so does that mean things are improving over the last week or people giving up? I guess I'm looking for feedback, anything that they need to know.
I actually did a survey that I'll be presenting on about like, I can show that, but it's the essay report, but I have a lot of stuff that can be to discussion.
Anything else for open discussion? All right, Seeing none, CFO report?
So the supplemental request, and then also, sorry, I'm blood next. Finance meetings are moving to Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Starting this coming Tuesday, and also we're looking to get the SOAP workshops done so that way people can start working on their SOAP applications within the next 2 weeks. It'll probably be a Tuesday meeting and a Thursday meeting, and I'll talk more with the finance committee. My expectations for you guys about that. That's this question.
No questions? All right, moving on to VP report.
All right, Vice President Slight could not be here today, so I'm filling in for him. He just wanted me to tell you guys that, Student Fed is meeting on September 18th to create a goal for the state for mental health. And
Questions? VP report. Seeing none, moving on to my report. This week's been not a whole lot going on so far, on my end, this last week. Besides walking around and talking to about today, so I was actually correct, my meeting with them was not until 16th September. So yeah, we're continuing to kind of gather information on that. I'm really trying to get any photographic evidence of the more serious concerns about eating like undercooked chicken. That sort of deal. Haven't really been able to get anything on that, substantiate some of those claims. Outside of that, office hours, so we need that form filled out. Sam wasn't here to express that himself, so after the meeting in the room, we just kind of hang around, hop on Teams and get that figured out. We need 2 hours a week. They don't have to be right next to each other. We're working on homework in the Senate office. Just have to be in there in case constituents come in. Want to talk to you or want to talk to just ask her questions from the Senate. You can get those filled out so posted on the door and sent out in, other than that, I also sent out the anti-suicide event sign-up sheet from Lee Kavanaugh. We talked about that last week. That's to your email. You guys, if you will volunteer for some of those, maybe hopping on quite a few of those hours. I just gotta work on my schedule for that. Be much appreciated. You can do a lot of it there. With the whole headshots for Talbot High, I have yet to hear any official numbers on that. So I really go forward, getting them funding to take those professional headshots on campus. Other than that, any report? Any questions?
Where do we go to fill our?
I can show you everything. It's on Teams under the vice president folder. Actually. Who's having trouble navigating Teams? Who's kind of wants to walk through? Who hasn't been on? Yeah, so it's, we have the 2022-2023 Marshall. There's the agendas that are all past agendas. We have a current meeting, that's where all the most updated meeting docs are for this meeting. So notice how we had an agenda change, that updated agenda is in there, as well as sign-up sheet for GR. We're gonna bring up, as well as the most recent version of the resolution. Minutes, president folder resolutions will be all resolutions that we that have been their Word versions that have been approved, as well as the actual PDF versions with full signature on there, as well as the vice president folder. So a lot of it's going to be in there. So our historical roster, contact information. Sam is also really wanting us to get that contact information filled out. Right now, I think there's only a few people on there. So yeah, we just get that filled out after the meeting. Any other questions on navigating the drive? All right, moving on to international report.
Yep, so the Avenue International Center and the career the Career Center organized job search strategies for international students yesterday. End of report.
How'd it go? Was it pretty well attended?
Yeah, a lot of them, like 10, 12, I guess. Not a lot, but yeah. But
Good to hear.
some attended online as well.
Any questions for Senator Fernandez? None? Again, do we not a graduate report?
Turns out we don't have an email list for graduate students, so we're kind of all looking for blue over here. So, we need to make one. But, yeah, that's all I have. In the report,
I should be able to, I can try to get you,
whatever you did last time.
yeah, I can try to find that email chain, find out who specifically we talked to.
Yeah.
Because I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, or I think it was actually before that. When Rector's office handled that, or?
Because I know the registrar's office has list of us, but they don't have like an email chain that I can use.
I'll find out who you talk to, you guys, it's gonna be some sort of coordinated effort between Registrar's office as well as like the actual create.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just make sure the commissions are set up right on it, so we're not. I don't know if I can get there. Any questions for Senator Disagree? All right, moving on to the non-cap report,
No reports.
questions for Senator Chris? All right, committee reports, starting with Constitution.
We have. The biking club is coming back in case anyone wants to cycle. So I guess that's fun. Yeah, that's all we have in the report.
Any questions for Senator Disagree? See none? Public relations?
We met today, we're gonna start advertising for the freshman elections, so people know to run for it and vote during it. And then start talking about like our hardware discount program, we want to see this year. And the fixing problem, we probably won't have one that stands in like 3 days, but we'll get in contact with like that. Plus, I think we're gonna do rocker shop gift cards instead of just cash this year, so hopefully it'll be easier than trees.
Any questions for Senator Ellis?
Maybe I'm out of loop here, but we're already doing advertising. For advertising for the professional elections.
We usually just want to do it. So I don't know.
Any other questions? All right, see none, governmental relations.
All the posters are out for friends of elections. And so we'll be tabling the 21st, elections are in the team's folder, there's a sign up sheet. Or, I don't remember what the times are, I think 8 to 5 or 3 or something. Please sign up. For the time if you're available. I think they're for hour slots of 50 minutes, so it's like in line with your classes. Yeah, and on the 28th, after the freshmen are inducted, we're gonna have a bonding event, so it won't be that long, but clear schedules. And then report.
Any questions for Senator Durst? See none, moving on to the student affairs.
Okay, so we had set out. I had set out a board by the cafeteria this week to kind of see satisfaction of students. So on the board, you can see the results here. So the first question was like with the variety of options. And it said about 52% of students were satisfied with options, which, you know, honestly better than I was expecting, so that's good. And then this is the satisfaction with the hours that it's open. And then we got quite a few comments on this. A lot of the comments are saying that people want like more evening hours so that they can get like the evening snack. That's about it for the hours. And then the quality, it said 52% were satisfied with the quality. And then this is the responses to what improvements would you like to see? And a lot of the stuff that is on here is more like healthy options for food. And there's also concerns about the cafeteria running out of food really fast. So students would like to see a change in that. And again, there were some students asking for like extended hours to get a later night snack. And if anybody wants to go through this on the comments, I can have the results. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Any questions, Senator Cole? I guess I would like to make a note, so what have you guys heard from your constituents on, kind of in the last few weeks? This one, especially like you guys, URAs, guess what you guys heard? Senator Lewis.
I forwarded a picture to you of raw chicken that was sent by residents.
Oh, was that, oh yeah, that was.
So I did send you a picture of that. Aside from that, I hear a complaint about running out early and no variety. And then the only other complaints that I know of we cannot control, which is the market not being finished.
Any other comments from, senators from the constituents? What are some of, I guess, what have you heard on this?
So I spoke to Vice President, Dr. Spindle. So dining, he reports up through finance administration, so he's, oversees the contract. And, asked us, we really need, President Rankin said a nice message about a week ago, but we haven't heard anything. So we really need a firm timeline on the markets now, and the minor checks in terms of how food. We're still owed like for lack of better terms, like a ramen noodle ATM machine, we'll owe that. So we want like a firm timeline that we can send out to you, so that I think students are being very patient and flexible. But it's gonna land better if we're like, hey, this is the reality. We open on November 1st. Not just a spring fluttering. So he's working with their operations to get those dates, to get that timeline. We've had some visiting chefs all last week, all this week, so hopefully you noticed more stations being open, more variety. When was that raw chicken? Was that recent?
The picture itself was from a couple weeks back, but that's the only picture I ever seen, but aside from that, I've heard the complaint multiple times just without evidence.
Yeah. So balls in Dr. Spindle's court getting that timeline so we can get a message out. That's not priority for me. I got it on my to-do list every week until we get an answer.
The other comment, Senator Lewis.
The other complaint that I do know, but I do not eat on a regular basis, so I can't back it, is the fact that it's not reusable silverware and platters. I still plastic and paper plates and disposable cups, which has been just a complaint about quality. So, but I can't back it. I haven't been there in a while myself.
Yeah, that's
Senator
true.
Jones.
Yep, the plastic and paper stuff, yeah.
They don't really think they don't worse. It's not always. Or
Is it, oh, well, I guess kind of clarify on that, is it like lunches or like dinners or? just-
I read last night. And I've done.
Might go check into that, and kind of see what their view on that is. Any other comments? Senator Leonard?
Are other schools and you are also struggling?
Yes, yes. To my understanding from Vice President Slack's report from what you heard on the cabinet meeting was the other UR schools are struggling, less so SDSU because they already had Sodexo, but we definitely getting the worst. The biggest deal across the board, from what I heard, was construction and a lot of these other institutions as well.
I can add to that too. The other thing that I heard from my counterparts at the other body institution was concerned about the higher catering prices. So those of you like even the student senate wanted to have food, or any of the organizations that you have. So Sodexo has made a student-friendly catering menu for Dakota State University. And so I've asked, we need to see that too. We need to have one for you guys. the cheapest thing shouldn't be $16 a place for student loans, that's not reasonable. So hopefully we get this.
Any other comments? Moving on to campus ad hoc committees, any updates on those? Russ?
As far as the branding goes, or President Marshall, SIPO, he's on our meetings with the other groups to talk about that. So hopefully by next week, I can see and this interested in helping people. So,
Any questions, Senator Russ? You ready? See none, I would like any other ad hoc committees? Is it just you on the committee or is it other? Also. Has everyone checked and does everyone remember what ad hoc committees are on this semester? And for the ones that are not chaired by student senate, has everyone contacted the chairs? Because if not, we really need to get that going, because one issue we've had in the past years is people on these committees won't hear from us for like halfway through the fall semester and or closer to spring, nothing can really get done or students' opinions not being heard on it. What else is on SAC? Account, yeah. You're aware of it?
No.
Okay. Did SAC send out an email for it or?
Yeah.
Inspection. Can you explain what it means when you send yours, if it's not Senate for not Senate, so not Senate chaired, right? So you guys pulled the list in the vice president folder. There's all the ad hocs that we have. Vice President Schleich did a really good job trimming them all down. So for SAC, for example, Student Athletics Advisory Committee, that is a committee by student athletics. So if I'm not mistaken, it's a requirement of NCAA to have it, and they've allowed they're like senators, a couple of our senators to be there, just to kind of give them hear Athens issues, kind of within the realm of athletics, beautification, commencement, EHS, food service, food advisory. A lot of these were ran by other parties in the Senate. So some of the ones that Senate's running have really been safety, right? And that's chaired by Senator Paulson, rebranding, and that is chaired by Senator Russ. So the majority of the committees are chaired outside our student senate, and we're really sitting on there and helping in some capacity. Any other questions? Either house. All right, moving on, upcoming Senate business. So career fair employers exception, I sent out the RSVP for everyone that signed up last week. Could be a good event. Free food, free drinks. As Monday, coming Monday, if I'm not mistaken. They'll be in here 4 to 6. Chocolate walk. Again, that sign up sheet went out for September 22nd, as well as some other events during that week that Senate is going to help out with. Take a look at that sign up sheet. Any other upcoming Senate business? Okay, the announcements. Senator Russ.
There you go. Oh shoot. Sorry. There's 15 weeks until Christmas, so Suzanne's gonna be months pretty soon.
Thanks, Senator Russ. Entertaining any motions to adjourn? All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. The adjourn. Yeah. Carter, Quentin Carter. Okay, the other two reasons.